Hey, my name is Ketan. I'm the host of podcast Selling Around the Globe, powered by Commerce, making e-commerce accessible to everyone. This is my weekly solo podcast where I talk about all the tricks and tips, paving a roadmap for you to start selling on all the prominent marketplaces and make money online. In this episode, you'll learn about Etsy, a marketplace for handicrafts and arts, and why should you care about it. Alright, listeners, so Etsy Marketplace started in 2005 in the month of June. That is 15 years from now, and today it has become one of the prominent e-commerce websites in the US region that focuses on handicrafts, art decors, and vintage products. Etsy has been giving its sellers a beautiful storefront to sell their products. Etsy has a humongous 2.5 million sellers on its platform, and this significant growth on Etsy Marketplace happened due to the rapid upliftment in the trends of e-commerce that we have been seeing from the past years. So, in a 2013 interview with Chad Dickerson, he's the CEO of Etsy, he emphasized the importance of human interaction and meaning from creativity in regard to his perspective over the Etsy marketplace. Explaining further, I'll be quoting unquoting. So it's quote unquote. He said, a platform that provides meaning to people and an opportunity to validate their art and their crafts. So, you see, over the time, Etsy has been helping sellers craft their innovative ideas into successful businesses and has catered the seller with around 40 million buyers who are constantly keeping an eye on an aesthetic product to buy. I've been rhyming here, right? Further, listeners, I have a few stats for you that will help you understand the scale and reach of Etsy Marketplace. So while I was doing my research over Etsy Marketplace, I got to see that more than 60 million products are currently listed on Etsy. I mean, that's really huge. So much art it consists of Etsy, right? Etsy has its very large widespread all around the globe, and currently it's operating in more than 85 countries. So you see, its presence is all around the globe, right? The best part is the Etsy's buyer first orientation. Like, it has helped many sellers in making loyal customers, and this is the result that more than 80% of the purchases are done by the repeat customers on Etsy Marketplace. Can you believe that? Such a retention level. Etsy being one of the, Etsy has been one-stop shop for your handicrafts and products, and it has helped more than 95% of its sellers to start and flourish their businesses right from their home. So it's work from home one in a case, right? That means you start your hustle right from the comfort of your home. That's even great. I mean, who doesn't want to do that, right? So apart from this, I have much more for you to make you understand that selling on Etsy is really worth it. So let's talk about the minimal listing fees first. See, Etsy has very minimal fees for the sellers who are willing to list their products there. So let's first talk about the minimal listing fees that I would say is almost negligible, like 20 cents. You see, 20 cents for 4 months, and it's just for the initial 4 months, I'm telling you. And in an exchange of that, you'll get the most targeted audience that is all the time looking for just decors, handicrafts, and arts, like the item that you are manufacturing, the item that you are selling on Etsy. The audience there is looking for the almost same items. Another one is Etsy ads. Like, you might have heard about this because it has been in the news for a very long time, and like many sellers on Etsy as well were not happy. Like, they were having clouds of confusion over this. But here, like, let me clear them all at once, right? So through Etsy ads, Etsy has collaborated with Google, and now your product ads will be visible over Google search results as well. Like, no jokes here. Once you promote your products on Etsy Marketplace, they'll be promoted over Etsy Marketplaces as the sponsored products. Plus, it will also surface in the Google ads whenever a related keyword is searched over the Google search. And I know, listeners, this is insane. Well, Etsy doesn't just stop here when it comes to giving these sellers more and more opportunities to enhance their product reach. Like, this wasn't enough. So this being said, let's know how Etsy's SEO works. Like, Etsy has its own SEO. So let's see how that works. Like Google, Etsy search algorithm, Etsy's SEO algorithm. Like, it's just like the Amazon SEO. If you remember, Amazon has its own SEO. So that's the topic for another podcast now. But right now, let's talk about Etsy SEO. So you can easily rank your products very higher, in the Etsy search results with some SEO tactics and search indented keywords. The more you have to do some research, sellers, right? So the more app research and implementation of SEO tactics you do, I'm assuring you the higher your products will surface in the search results. And one more thing, because it is about art, Etsy is also providing its sellers a completely customizable storefront where you can make all the desired changes to make your store look more and more aesthetic. It's all about aesthetics, arts, home decors, right? So Etsy is moving one step ahead. It's providing you customizable storefront. Like, you can arrange your product listings, you can choose your own shipping policies, refunds, you can make your own policies. So everything's very customizable there. So in this way, like, Etsy is the only marketplace that lets the artists bloom and build their own brands. So here you can customize everything in your own way to build your own brand. So with this, people, like, I'm really sure that, like, you see, there are many good reasons to start selling on Etsy. And also there is one more good news for you, because now Etsy will be your marketplace and you'll be one of the sellers here, right? So Etsy, like, taking the marketplace to the new heights. Etsy has become the proud owner of another booming marketplace, that is Reverb. Most of you might have heard about it. It's a one-stop place for all the musical instrument and accessories. So this has given Etsy even wider span to all the sellers of Etsy. Now a new audience segment is also created. So people who will be looking for music stuff, might be if they're interested in the art. So Etsy has some, like, mingled up stuff there. So it's going really good, and I'm really excited that what can be the future norms with this, right? So let's see, like, what's happening in the future. I'll be updating you very soon if something like this happens, if something very interesting happens that is, like, really important for you people. So you got me, another podcast, another show, so I will be here, right? So with all of this comprising, like, this brings us to one point, that the boom in the Etsy success has been enormous, and that the consistent changes in Etsy's algorithm is resulting in the expansion of, like, Etsy, right? See, change is constant and change is really necessary. So that's what Etsy is doing. Like, Etsy is making changes to make it even better for the sellers and even for the buyers by giving them an ultimate like, shopping experience, right? See, now you'll be thinking that why should I care? So let me tell you, like, the right choice today should be joining the Etsy family and taking your products online. See, all the time while you were listening to this podcast, like, we had the same in our head, right? Like, how to start on selling on Etsy. Should we be selling on Etsy? So how to start will be covering up in the next podcast, this next episode of Selling Around the Globe. So with this, we have come to the end of this episode summarizing the Etsy marketplace and why should you care about it. Here is just a quick recap of everything that we discussed in this podcast, right? So we discussed about the origin of Etsy and how ever since then it has grown higher and higher, like, no stopping by, no looking back. We also have talked about the ethos as per the Chad Dickerson, the founder of Etsy, right? And how the marketplace was built on the basis of human connection. Like, it's bringing in art and the humans, like, together, giving more human touch. Like, that's how it's going. And then we talked about a few stats over Etsy marketplace, and we learned that how significantly, like, Etsy has grown over the year. So with this, people, stay tuned, listeners, because, like, we'll be coming the next week. See, this is a weekly podcast, so I will be dropping by episodes every Monday. You will be having a new episode here that would be covering another marketplace maybe, but this is part 1 for the Etsy marketplace. We have it in 3 parts. This is like why to sell on Etsy, then we'll be having how to sell on Etsy, and then I'll be telling you all the good parts, all the good important things that you need to know, you need to follow, you need to remember to be on the Etsy marketplace, right? So stay tuned, listeners. We'll be coming the next week with another episode of Selling Around the Globe, where we'll be digging further into the insights, tips and tricks of selling over Etsy marketplace. So that's a wrap from my side. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast, like, wherever you are listening to it right now. We are available over all the major podcasting platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. So see you next week.